What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, with another edition of Where, Pick, and Dare, where I pick games for the various games that are occurring tomorrow. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, basically whatever games I want to pick, I will pick them. With all that being said, on with the video. MLB. Cincinnati Reds versus Detroit Tigers. The Reds have a 35.7% chance to win, and the Tigers have a 64.3% chance to win. This is at Detroit. For pitchers, Miley for the Reds has an ERA of 9 and a whip of 2.14, and Gibson Long for the Tigers has an ERA of 4.32 and the whip of 1.08. So neither one's pitched a lot this year. Miley's only pitched 7 innings. Gibson Long's only pitched 8 and a third. So probably best to look at their career. So for Miley, he has pitched in 1752 in the third innings, and he's allowed 796 earned runs. So to figure all this out, like we take 796 divided by you know like 1752 and one third, multiply it by 9, and we get an approximate career ERA of 4.09 for Miley. Now for Gibson Long, so he has pitched in 28 and the third inning, and he has allowed 10 earned runs. So we take 10 divided by 28 and the third, multiply it by 9, and we get like a career ERA of approximately 3.18. So his career ERA is better than Miley's. It's below like that Mendoza line. And even the current one for this season, it's significantly below. So I say the pitching advantage is definitely in the favor of the Tigers. So with the home field advantage and pitching advantage, I think the Tigers will beat the Reds tomorrow. Toronto Blue Jays versus Philadelphia Phillies. The Blue Jays have a 34.9% chance to win, and the Phillies have a 65.1% chance to win. This is at Philadelphia, and for pitchers, Barrios for the Blue Jays has an ERA of 3.38 and a WHIP of 1.25, and Wheeler for the Phillies has an ERA of 2.85 and a WHIP of 0.9. So good pitching for both teams. A very slight advantage for the Phillies, like a little over 0.5 advantage, in ERA. So I don't think it's that significant. So I think home field advantage would be the big thing here. So I think the Phillies will beat the Blue Jays tomorrow. Tampa Bay Rays versus New York Mets. The Rays have a 44.8% chance to win, and the Mets have a 55.2% chance to win. This is at New York. For pitchers, Baz for the Rays has an ERA of 4.97 and a WHIP of 1.34. And Canning for the Mets has an ERA of 3.22 and a WHIP of 1.35. So good pitching for the Mets, not necessarily good pitching for the Rays. So I think the pitching advantage is definitely in the favor of the Mets. So with the pitching advantage and home field advantage, I think the Mets will beat the Rays tomorrow. Minnesota Twins versus Houston Astros. The Twins have a 38.6% chance to win, and the Astros have a 61.4% chance to win. This is at Houston. For pitchers, Woods Richardson has an ERA of 5.74 and a WHIP of 1.61. And Walter for the Astros has an ERA of 1.64 and a WHIP of 11. So Walter's only pitched in 11 innings this year, while Woods Richardson has only pitched in 42 in the third. So let's see what Walter's career ERA is as a way to basically get a better comparison. So Walter has pitched in 34 innings in his career, and he has allowed 18 earned runs. So we take 18 divided by 34, multiply by 9, and we get a career ERA of approximately 4.76. So that's it's not good. Neither one has a good ERA, but Walter's career is better than what Richardson's is right now. So I think it's a pitching advantage for the Astros. So with the pitching advantage and the home field advantage, I think the Astros will beat the Twins tomorrow. St. Louis Cardinals versus Milwaukee Brewers. The Cards have a 45.7% chance to win, and the Brewers have a 54.3% chance to win. This is at Milwaukee for pitchers. Mikolas for the Cards has an ERA of 4.48 and a WHIP of 1.31. And Priester for the Brewers has an ERA of 3.65 and a WHIP of 1.3. So good pitching for the Brewers, not really good pitching for the Cards. So a definite pitching advantage for the Brewers. So with the home field advantage and the pitching advantage, I think the Brewers will beat the Cardinals tomorrow. Cleveland Guardians versus Seattle Mariners. The Guardians have a 47.8% chance to win, and the Mariners have a 52.2% chance to win. This is at Seattle. For pitchers, Ortiz for the Guardians has an ERA of 4.26 and a WHIP of 1.45. And Hancock for the Mariners has an ERA of 5.04 and a WHIP of 1.5. So it's not really good pitching for either team. So Ortiz's ERA is like 0.78 better than Hancock's, and his WHIP is 0.05 better than Hancock's. He's pitched in more innings, like around 14 and a third more innings, so not really a big number. Both have pitched a lot this year. So I would say the pitching advantage is in favor of the Guardians, but neither and Ortiz's ERA is closer to that Mendoza line. So I'd say despite the home field advantage that the Mariners have, I think the Guardians with the pitching advantage will beat the Mariners tomorrow. San Diego Padres versus Arizona Diamondbacks. The Padres have a 43.5% chance to win, and Diamondbacks have a 56.5% chance to win. This is at Arizona. For pitchers, Pivetta for the Padres has an ERA of 3.48 and a WHIP of 1.11. And Kelly for the Diamondbacks has an ERA of 3.18 and a WHIP of 0.99. So not really a significant difference in pitching quality. Like it's very slightly to favor the Diamondbacks, but it's not that significant. So I think home field advantage will be the big thing here. So I think the Diamondbacks will beat the Padres tomorrow. San Francisco Giants versus Los Angeles Dodgers. The Giants have a 35.7% chance to win, and the Dodgers have a 64.3% chance to win. This is at LA. For pitchers, Harrison for the Giants has an ERA of 4.56 and a WHIP of 1.27. And May for the Dodgers has an ERA of 4.46 and a WHIP of 1.31. Now, May has pitched in 6 and 2/3 innings, while Harrison has pitched in 23 and 2/3 innings. So, probably a good idea to look at Harrison's career ERA. So, he has pitched in 182 2/3 innings and has allowed uh, 91 earned runs. So, we take 91 divided by 182 and 2/3 multiplied by 9 to get a approximate career ERA of 4.48. So not a significant difference, between, the two pictures. So this ain't gonna matter much. Neither one necessarily has a good ERA. So I think the big thing this game is going to be home field advantage. So I think the Dodgers will beat the Giants tomorrow. College baseball. Arizona Wildcats versus Louisville Cardinals. Whoever loses this game is eliminated from the College World Series. And so neither team is ranked. Arizona has a 42-18 record. Louisville has a 38-21 record. Louisville, I would say, is more battle tested than Arizona just due to the conference Louisville plays in with all the really good ACC teams. So, and I think that will help them in this game. So, I think Louisville will beat Arizona tomorrow, and Arizona will therefore be eliminated from the Men's College World Series. Coastal Carolina Chanticleers versus Oregon State Beavers. So neither team's at risk of elimination. They both haven't lost yet in the College World Series. So Coastal Carolina is 13 in the nation, 54-11 record. Oregon State's 8 in the nation, 48-14-1 record. And yeah, this could be a really good game. Coastal Carolina has won the national championship before, and so has Oregon State. I remember their most recent national championships very vividly. They're all in very recent memory. They were like in both of them in like the last decade. And yeah, so both coaches, they're relatively newer and relatively newer, and they have they to their schools because both of them have replaced national championship winning coaches, and then so this could be a good game. You know, very new like experience for a lot of these coaches. As head coaches anyway. And yeah, this could be a good a good team, a good game. I think this could be this could be a very good game. So I think that Oregon State just generally has more experience being the postseason, dealing with a lot of these high low environments. So I think Oregon State will beat Coastal Carolina tomorrow to put Coastal Carolina at risk of elimination. And that's it for picks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my picks. Do you agree with them? Do you not? If you have different picks, you can put them in the comments. But other than that, please like, subscribe, and all that. Thank you for listening, and look forward to the next video.